Hi, my name is Danielle, and I am the chiropractic assistant to Broadway Family Chiropractic. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us this evening for dinner. We hope to do more dinners like this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been working with Dr. Margie for almost 6 years now. Before I met Dr. Margie, I suffered from severe back pain and sciatica. And I don't know if any of you guys know what sciatica is, but it is horrible. I went through injections, I went through physical therapy, acupuncture, and lots of pain medication. I did everything my MD told me to do, and it didn't work at all. So when I started working with Dr. Margie, I told her about my problem, and I seen other people, were getting better that had the same situation. So I said, can you take an x-ray of me and, take a look and see if you can help me. So she took an x-ray and I started to get adjusted, and wham, my pain went away. Every once in a while, I might get a little tinge of it. I tell Dr. Margie, hey, my back's, acting up a little bit. I get adjusted. By the time I get off the table, I don't have it anymore. So that's the great thing about it. And I suffer from a B12 deficiency, which causes memory loss, digestive issues, optic nerve neuropathy, just a whole slew of medical issues. And, being adjusted and living a healthier lifestyle, I don't have any of those symptoms anymore. Matter of fact, my doctor was so impressed, he became a patient of our office because he was like, whoa, I can't believe you've done so well. So everybody needs to hear this information, and we love to do dinners like this. So if you know anybody that would like to come to a dinner like this, I have given everybody a packet, and in that packet there's a pink little slip. On your pink slips, put as many names down as possible, and for each name that you put down, I will give you a raffle ticket. So the more people that you put down, the better chances of winning. And we have some cool prizes. We have $50 American Express gift cards. We have gift certificates to this fabulous restaurant, and we have some other cool prizes as well. Now, Dr. Margie's going to be talking a little later about an exam at a reduced rate, and if you take advantage of that, you get another raffle ticket. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Dr. Margie graduated from Palmer Chiropractic College in 1991 with honors. She's been practicing for the last 22 years full-time and the last 10 years in our Raynham location, which we're celebrating tonight. Yep. She has traveled extensively around the country to train with some of the top chiropractors, and her mission is to educate and adjust as many families as possible towards optimal health through all-natural corrective chiropractic care. Yep. And she resides in Raynham with her husband, John, and her 2 dogs. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our host, Dr. Margie Downs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. And once again, welcome to Dinner with the Doc. I really love doing these programs because, first of all, it's a great way for me to be able to meet my community. And there's a lot of different variety of people here, patients as well as people that I've never met before. So I want to welcome you all and just say what a pleasure it is for me to be able to break bread with you. This evening is a little special because, as Danielle alluded to, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. And when I was thinking about it the other day, I said to myself, wow, 10 years doesn't come all that often, right? But on the flip side of the coin, where have the 10 years gone? Time is just skips right by us. So I really am thankful that you could come and join us this evening. And it's my way of saying thank you. And like I said, we just want to break bread and have a little fun tonight. But another reason why we do the dinners is because it's a great way for me gives me the opportunity to be able to show you why everyone needs to have a great chiropractor on their healthcare team. You need to have a great MD on your healthcare team. You need to have a great dentist on your healthcare team. Very, very important. But tonight we're going to focus on why you want to have a chiropractor in your life. The reason being is that your spine and nerve system Your spine and nerve system is the best tool that you have in your little toolbox when it comes to being able to stay healthy. So by keeping that healthy, it's going to help us to teach you to preserve your own good health and to live a nice, healthy life throughout all your days. And I think that's probably a really attractive thing for most people in this room. So people ask me, well, why are we doing the dinners at this beautiful Harry's La Casa Mia? And, well, you know, these dinners give me the opportunity to not only just be able to meet our community, but to be able to teach you how to have better spinal health. And that also helps us to be able to kind of say, well, what our focus is in the practice, what do we offer, and what are some of our services. So you're going to learn a little bit about that tonight as well. How to find us. We're right down the road over here next to Dunkin' Donuts, just north of Market Basket. And I'd also like to teach you that, you know, we are one of those offices that is a family-based practice, where I was explaining to some of the folks earlier today, you might see little kids all the way up to patients that are in their 90s and kicking it, active, very, very much so. So I think, you know, it's an office that you can really feel comfortable in and feel welcome in, as well as an office that you can talk to. The other reason why we want to make sure that everyone participates with us tonight is, well, you know what? We love to have fun. So I thought a 10-year anniversary, what a better reason than to have some fun. So if you relax with us a little bit, play with us, you're going to have great information, I think. You're going to have a good time, and I've got a lot of little nuggets for you, all right? A lot of little golden nuggets when it comes to maintaining your health over the course of a lifetime. So everyone received a little packet right here, all right? And I think the notes are good for many different reasons. First of all, if you don't know me, I could probably talk about this stuff until midnight tonight. And I do know that a few folks have to get up and go to work. So these notes are going to help me to stay on track. They're jam-packed with a lot of things that we're going to cover, but also as a reference so that if you have questions later on in the week or something, feel free to make some notes, and you can always come back to ask us or else make reference to the notes themselves. So we're going to start at the top here, but before I get into that, I want to say, you know, first of all, my goal for tonight's program is to have you completely and totally understand that your body can get well naturally. You can live a very, very, very healthy life just doing that totally naturally. So I always like to ask the group, if there's anyone here who's interested in living a healthier life, perhaps less pain in your life, or the need for less medication, or, you know, maybe there's a lot of folks out there that are really getting into this anti-aging thing and setting yourself up so that you're one of those healthier old folks doing what you love to do. Does that sound like anything that anybody in this room would like to learn more about? Absolutely. And I think that you're in a good place tonight for that. So right at the top there, it says, what does being healthy mean to you? Is it only feeling good? Or possibly could it be more than that? So I'm going to have you flip to the example on the next page. There is a little pamphlet that I found in an office that I was in. And I thought, wow, this really hits home. It's great for my talk. And where the woman says here, I feel great. But I'm going to read the little inset to you just in case it didn't come out clear on the copy. It states that complications from the breast tumor won't be obvious for another 5 years. All right. So, you know, what does that page mean to you? Basically, it tells us that there's a lot of things going on in the body that we don't necessarily perceive, right? So, medical dictionary definition of health is this: the condition of an organism, and I'm on page 1 still, in which it performs its vital functions normally or properly. We want 100% function, including healing, right? Your body should be healing 24/7, always. So over a long period of time, if we do that, what does that make us? It makes us healthy old people, right? And healthy old people are awesome. I love that. But, you know, I like to always stop just a little bit right here at this point and ask people, you know, our healthcare system today, what do you think it is? Is it a healthcare system or is it a sick care system? Yes, it is definitely a sick care system. And so what that means is that most of the time in our way of thinking, we manage our health by moving crisis to crisis. All right? And a lot of times, probably we should be moving along from wellness to wellness, connecting all the dots for these wellness and healthy activities that we do throughout life. Because a lot of times just moving from crisis to crisis, you're actually taking better care of your car if you get your oil changed and alignments than we actually do our bodies. So I'm going to delve into that a little bit this evening as well. Did you know, halfway down the page, where it says more and more people are in the triple-digit club? And I don't know if you know what that is, but for one thing for sure, in order to live to be 100, you have to do one thing. And what is that one thing? Not die, right? Well, all kidding aside, we really need to stop killing ourselves. So our time is totally different than those who have made it to 100 already. This is true, right? We have advanced warning that we are living longer, not like the accidental centenarians, people that have made it there, perhaps by accident, right? One thing for sure, you can't stop the ticking clock. But the real question is, how do we want to age? So the 100-year lifestyle is definitely something we have to think about, because do you think that there's potentially a chance for you to live to 100? A lot of people will say, that sounds pretty scary. I don't know if I want to get to be that age, right? But there definitely is a chance. It is actually quite high, because the centenarians are the largest and fastest growing group right now, group of population. So what that means is more and more people are living longer. And I say, you know what, that's all great. But count me out if I'm stuck in a wheelchair or all my marbles are on the floor, right? We don't want to have that. So the big question is, how do you get there in health? How do you get there in wellness? And we're going to go over a lot of that tonight. Okay, so I'm going to have you flip to the third page with me. All right, and we're going to start learning about what I call the hierarchy of healthcare. I like to divide healthcare into 3 categories. All right? And the first category is actually self-care. Now, we talk about self-care, and those are things like no one but you can do it. Right? No one but you can sweat for yourself. No one but you can brush your own teeth. No one but you can say no to the 10th chocolate chip cookie. All right? Or get yourself to bed on time. And then the next category is actually health care. Now, that is what you do for yourself to keep yourself healthy, but you can't do for yourself. So examples would be going to get your teeth cleaned, your chiropractic adjustments. Now, let me tell you, I've been a chiropractor for 22 years, and I have still not figured out how to adjust myself. I have to have my own chiropractor. Early detection tests would be another example. So select us if you want to be healthy right there. I tell you, we can teach you a whole lot. Now, most of our time is spent in these 2 categories right here, in self-care and health-care. And that is where we in our office really make the wheel spin, and to elevate and to raise a person's health potential much more beyond what they ever thought it could. The next category right here is crisis care. That is where a professional is needed to address issues in which the body is broken down or needs to recover. So examples of those horrific things are things like heart attacks, a stroke, a broken bone, etc. We really need to get the people to the person to the professional that is going to bring them back to level ground. All right? But listen to this. Research proves that excellent health care combined with great self-care keeps your entire body functioning at its optimal level and helps to prevent crisis care, right? Goes right down. And perhaps some of you can speak firsthand about that. Look, chiropractors have done a terrific job packaging the healthcare hierarchy for spine and nerve system. Just like nobody wants a root canal, people would prefer to keep their spine and nerve system healthy, balanced, and aligned throughout their lifetime. They want to be able to stay active. That's the beauty in it. As we age, we've all seen an elderly person whose spine is bent over and crooked from years of neglect. And we said to ourselves, I don't want to end up like that. These crippled people just didn't wake up like that one day. Their spine grew wrong over time. Who has seen the unfortunate soul who neglected his or her spine and ended up with a herniated or a ruptured disc? Does anyone have any relation to that or familiarity with a ruptured disc? Ouch, it only takes one bad disc. Absolutely, and if you have one of these, you know it. One bad disc to put a damper on the quality of life as you age. But watch this, last paragraph. Like all other challenges in health, early detection of spinal misalignments, what we call subluxations, it is vital. And prevention, though, is different. Many people confuse early detection with prevention. You see, early detection consists of engaging in diagnostic testing to identify a condition at its earliest stages, but prevention is what a healthy lifestyle can help you achieve. So therefore, millions have a chiropractor as their primary care doctor and a physician as their crisis care specialist, and that works really well for a lot of folks. Next page. We'll talk about the top 3 secrets. I brought some secrets in my pocket for you here. Top 3 secrets to having maximum health. Secret number 1. First of all, I'd like everyone to understand that the power that made the body heals the body. It happens no other way. So really, when we put a Band-Aid on the cut, what's doing the healing? It's not the Band-Aid, right? So really, when we talk about it, who is the best doctor around? It's Dr. You, yeah. It's what's inside you. You doctor yourself, if you will. And we say, well, for what body parts? Which muscles? Which organs? Which glands? All of them, absolutely. And through this ability of your amazing body, your health comes from within. And what we want to do is maximize that. Secret number 2, that every single cell in your body is connected to your brain via a nerve. All right? All of your body functions are coordinated by your nerve system. The brain is like the body's master computer, and all your nerves are like the body's electrical wires, sending impulses to every part of you, all of you. And even Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he said, look well to the spine for the cause of disease. So he knew there was something to it. Secret number 3 is what I call my power secret. Any bone out of alignment in your spine means that some part of your body is sick and in the process of breaking down. So if we're not healing, what are we doing faster? Aging faster, dying faster. Absolutely. Subluxation, that's what the misalignments are called, is a misalignment of the bone that puts pressure on the nerves that interfere with the body's inborn ability to heal itself. So these subluxations make us grow wrong. And how do we know that? Because we see it in posture. We see it in posture. And one thing that I can promise you is that I can change and improve your health immensely, if you allow me to change your posture. And of course, that's going to kind of make the whole wheel spin where your healing is enhanced all from within. So chiropractic, corrective chiropractic, is very much an inside job. And that's the beauty of it. But here's the kicker. Most of the time, we don't even feel this problem, subluxation going on, because only 10%, very, very, very little, 10% of your nerve system even perceives pain. So after 22 years of practice, I've learned that structure will definitely determine function. It absolutely is true. And that dis-ease, if there's too much dis-ease in the body, it's not functioning properly, and you're just kind of getting through, or your body's in a state of compensation, that will later on turn into disease, and we don't want that. The research tells us these days that 95, that's a pretty high percentage, 95% of healthcare issues these days are preventable. And so what it really boils down to is lifestyle, health choices that you make. And here's the kicker. Who do you have on your healthcare team? All right. So the next page here. And I think everyone has a pen. So we're gonna have a little interaction here, okay? I got some checklists. A lot of people kind of are amazed by this. Wow, my body can heal itself. All my healing comes from within. I don't want to have these misalignments in my spine. Teach me more. Well, I asked the question that a lot of people ask me. Now, how could this subluxation thing ever happen to me? So you got your pens ready. Please check accordingly. First of all, Have you ever been in a car accident? Check yes or no. Have you ever had a slip or a fall or actually caught yourself, right? Did the Bambi thing? Land on your keister, right? Have you ever hit or banged your head? You know, you think about how many times that it happened last week to me, actually, where I had a cupboard door open, and clocked myself. These are everyday common things that can happen to people. Have you ever hit or banged your head? Have you ever tried to lift something that was too heavy for you? Or do you do lots of heavy lifting? How many people, and I'll ask the ladies in the room, that you've gone and bought groceries and you don't want to take 10 trips from back and forth in the car to the house, right? So you kind of do a power package, both arms loaded with the bags, and you kind of inch yourself up the stairs, right? That is one example of us straining ourselves. Have you ever slept funny? Right? Not so funny? And you woke up sore? Right? Have you ever broken a bone? See, the thing is, a lot of people worry about the main crisis, which is, yes, God forbid, we gotta make sure that bone heals properly. But then we say, well, what about all the other tissues around it? What has happened to them? Have you ever had high stress in your life? How about that? Anyone have high stress in their life, right? Maybe that's the other crowd, right? Everyone has stress in their life these days. And it is also our number one cause of spinal misalignment. Have you ever stressed or strained yourself at work? Now, a lot of people think about, well, what could I possibly be doing at work if you've got a sedentary job? You got a sedentary job. That is the stress. Or perhaps you're on your feet all the time. Or you're having to work around a machine. Or you're working on a computer, which I think is another category here. Do you sit a lot for work, at a desk, or for travel? All right. Do you enjoy exercise or sports, or have you in the past? Right? We call them, the people that are active on the weekends only, we call them weekend warriors, right? And there's a lot of issues that go around that. Have you ever been pregnant? If you've been pregnant, you know that your body changes every single day. Guys, don't volunteer answering for that question. Do you use a computer? Right? We are in a computer lifestyle. No other way of describing it. We use computers for work. We use them for entertainment. We use them for navigation these days. Everything is all computerized. And so a lot of times what that has done is that's put us into some major, what we call forward head posture. We're always looking down. We're at the computer. Have you ever hurt yourself as a child? We have two lovely ladies here with us this evening. And I'm telling you, I'm sure they're active. And they have gone through stresses and strains to their young, developing, growing body as well. And of course, we want it developing optimally. Kids can get subluxated too. Do you have habits like carrying a bag on your shoulder, right? A wallet in your back pocket. Guys are notorious for that. All right. Cradling a phone between your ear and your shoulder. How many of us at home, busy, and the phone rings, you get the phone and you do one of these things. You cradle the phone between your shoulder and your ear, and you're like, let me just write that note down, right? Very, very common. If we do these postures enough times, guess what happens? Your spine starts to memorize that, and that pattern grows into spinal misalignment. And here's another biggie. I always have to nudge my husband about this one. Sleeping on the couch. Right? How many people have a couch that just kind of sucks them right in and it's so comfortable? Yeah. All of us do. Yep. A lot of us have a couch that's very comfortable, and that can definitely, you can grow into that posture. I'll take a little aside note while Danielle's helping Frisia over there. But I wanted to tell you a little story too. I had a patient whose husband came in to see me, and he was literally shaped like a C. Right? He was just like this. And now, I see that stuff and I go, oh my goodness, that didn't happen overnight. This is not a new problem, right? And I was talking about the mattress that they were sleeping in. And I said, well, how old is your mattress? And she says, oh, it's very old, but it's a very good one. And I'm like, oh, really? She said, yes. We were over in Europe and had a bed shipped over, and the bed had to have a specific size mattress that was made just for that frame. The only problem was it was 40 years ago. So yes, we can grow into these unhealthy situations, and you won't be aware of it because you're sleeping at night or your body is just so used to it. All right. So moving on, these simple events are all things that can accumulate. There's the key word, accumulation, that will make our spine grow out of alignment. If held for a long period of time, the spine will deform, become arthritic, and eventually what does it do? It tries to fuse itself together. And that is one of the things that we really try to prevent is natural spinal fusion. We don't want to have that happen to everybody because now it's permanent. All right, next page. I may have a subluxation if I experience, well, we look at these things, right? And a lot of these things, people deal with these every single day. But I want you to answer it, if you've been dealing with it on a regular basis or if it's something that is an old friend to you, quote unquote. Chronic neck pain, headaches, and migraines. Do you know, just this last week, I had a patient that came in as a new patient. She's had migraines for 20 years, every day to some degree. Doesn't that sound crazy? That somebody would actually deal with migraines on a regular basis that often? Lower back pain, arm and leg pain, numbness or tingling, disc problems, peripheral neuropathy. I like to describe that as an altered sensation. Sometimes people will describe it as like having a glove on their hand or wearing a sock on their foot. It's an altered sensation. Arthritis or arthritic-like pains, right? Shoulder pains or clicking or grinding is another real common sign of a subluxation. Carpal tunnel. Has anyone ever had wrist pains? Right? Very common these days. Knee pains. Dizziness or a balance disorder. Restless leg syndrome. Does anyone know what that is, restless leg syndrome? Kind of feels like at night, like you can't relax your legs. You got to move your legs. They just won't get comfortable. Fibromyalgia. Does anyone know what fibromyalgia is? This is a very common diagnosis these days. Fibromyalgia, for that person, just makes them so uncomfortable. They have moving aches and pains all over the place and often respond very well to corrective chiropractic care. We can't forget the kids, too. The kids, I wanted to throw that in there because with kids, when we work with kids, we find that their digestion is improved, ear infections become a thing of the past, their ability to focus and do well in school is heightened, as well as coordination and sensory, what we call sensory integration, helps the children to develop on a higher level. IBS, does anyone know what IBS is? Right? Irritable bowel syndrome. Oh my goodness, if you know what that is, I tell you. IBS is definitely where oftentimes people have alternating diarrhea or constipation. It's just not a good thing. And we find that a lot of times it's from either the lower back or into the middle digestive area. There's certain areas of the spine that serve organs that are in different parts of the body. We also talk about groin pain or chronic fatigue. You know how expensive it is, energy-wise, for your body to be slumped over, or for you not, or to have one high shoulder or a high hip? You bet. Everyone I saw, I just did one of these little things. You just stood up nice and straight, and I always say, yes, I am part of the posture police. I watch, I look. Yes, it is true. And I will teach you how to anchor good posture, because we think about it, and if you have good posture, what does that mean about your organs? They're going to be in the right position, right? When we have poor posture, like for instance, when people let their rib cage fall, what does that do to your lower digestive tract? Crunches it all in, doesn't allow movement to happen in there. And so the next thing that can happen is, wow, why do we have some colon issues and all that? Your body is geared toward and meant to have proper posture with everything in its place. It will help you to be more active, and the body is meant to move. And it'll help you to have better, everything functioning at its highest level. So I like to put that in there too. Chronic fatigue, we talked about. Auto injuries. Do you know that when somebody is hit from behind or they hit somebody, that their neck has a chance to whiplash or go back and forth really quickly twice in the matter of 1 second? That's how fast that is, those impacts. So that's why I always tell people, any of my patients are ever in a car accident, please don't take that lightly. It can really damage your spine. Noticed imbalanced posture, like a high shoulder, right? If we keep that person on that shoulder for so many years, it's going to grow that way. I promise you. Or a high hip, higher hip or a lower hip, that can happen too. A rounded back, the dreaded, and I hate this for ladies too. You know what a dowager's hump is? Okay, and maybe perhaps you can say, oh wow, that happened to my mom, or that happened to my grandmother. I have massive osteoporosis in my family, and by hook or by crook, I am not going to get it. And a lot of it comes from having the awareness of what goes on in not only previous generations. Guess what? You've inherited that stuff. You get to work with it, not let it work against you. But a dowager's hump, and we had this massively in my family. All the women were like this. And I said, nope, that's not happening to me. And so I teach all of my patients how to avoid that and how to have what we call the perfect posture stance. And then the dreaded forward head posture, otherwise known as turkey neck. Yes, which a lot of people do because of all the things that we do these days that are head forward, right? So you have to do something, and having just saying, well, okay, I'm just going to straighten up, that's not going to do it, because what happens is the joints that allow you to carry that good posture will get restricted over time. And so we want to make sure that there is freedom and movement in all these joints that will help you to be able to carry that good posture. Nervousness, trouble sleeping, being stressed out. Who doesn't have stress in their lives these days? Depression and anxiety. I tell you, you watch TV these days between 6 and, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock, and all the pharmaceuticals that are trying to market a lot of their pills, they always touch base on anxiety and depression. And these days, it's all about erectile dysfunction and, how to breathe easier these days. When a lot of these things, there are remedies that we teach in our office to help you to be a healthier individual without having to turn to those medications as much as we are taught that we need them. And so we give you an opportunity to use a lot of not only God-given talents that you have within you that will help you to offset those things, but a lot of little secrets, a lot of little nuggets that we have in the office to help you to be a healthier individual naturally. So when we get adjusted, it relieves the nerves. Oh, we want to also mention the frequent colds and infections. That's another thing. A lot of patients will come to me and say, I have a suppressed immune system. That does really well with your corrective chiropractic care too. But when we get adjusted, it relieves the nerves, restores life, and allows Dr. U to operate at your highest potential. Our goal is to make you better. So definitely, tonight's a special night, like I said, our 10-year anniversary, and I have invited some of my very, very, very favorite patients. All of my patients are favorite patients, but you know what? I've got some here that are absolutely great, and I want to have a little story from at least a couple of you. So if, Terry, would you help me out with a little story? Because I know you've had some good experiences there. And just briefly tell me your experience. What do you like about the office and the quality of the care? We're all friends here. We're all family, right? So this is a good thing. You can stand. Yeah, here, go stand. Just kind of so I can.
Hi, I'm Terry Sullivan. I've been going to Dr. Martin now for about 8 years, maybe?
I know, you've been maintaining your spine.
And I had a history of scoliosis, and I had chronic back pain, and also sciatic pain that I had for a long time. I also had chronic headaches that I don't experience anymore. I also find that I don't go to the physician that much anymore. I just go to Dr. Margie for my regular adjustments, and I'm not ill that much. Except for recently, I had crisis care because I fell down 13 stairs and broke a rib and broke my wrist. But actually, Dr. Margie's helped me healing through this crisis care, along with the other therapies that I've had. But I saw the doctor today, and he said I was fantastic, that I do better than any of the other patients we've seen that's had this complex of fracture.
That is great.
So I think Dr. Margie adjusted my thumb that probably has been stuck for the last 8 weeks in the same position after falling down the stairs that no one else really picked up on. And also my daughter Carrie, she's been a patient of Dr. Margie's for most of her life. And she only goes to the doctor once a year for her physical because we have to by law, pretty much, for immunizations, etc. That she can't go to school unless she has. But other than that, Carrie, do you go to the doctors ever?
I don't remember the last time I've been to the doctors other than my physical.
Because even the doctor says we can't believe she's never here. She hasn't been on antibiotics that I can recall. She never has an ear infection. She has the usual colds that she goes through them
Absolutely.
really quick with a couple of adjustments.
What do you like about getting adjusted, Carrie?
I don't know. I have a lot of things about it, I guess. I like the fact that my back doesn't hurt after I get an adjustment.
Yeah, that's always good. And your posture, right? Mom and I talk about your posture all the time.
And Carrie is very into dance.
Oh, yes.
And plays and
falling.
So
She's an active kid.
I didn't fall as much as you.
she's definitely a Cairo kid. You know,
She is a Cairo kid.
She
We
needs
love
it
her.
and she gets it and she is healthy because of it.
It's a great
One
thing.
other thing I have to say is that Dr. Margie and Danielle are very flexible. I have a busy schedule. I work full time. We have a lot of things going on, and they're always flexible and friendly every time I go to the office. And I appreciate that Dr. Margie always has an open listening ear for me and
Absolutely.
Carrie. And Carrie's really like an adopted.
I know, she is. Absolutely. I take care of her like my own.
And she really does. So we appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us this evening. Yay. Wonderful. Good job. Jimmy, I wanted to ask you too. I know you have a different experience, so I wanted to ask you what you enjoyed about the office, or.
Well, what I enjoy about the office is the family atmosphere that you have. You're just not there to, adjust a line of people that are waiting at the door. You truly care about the people that help.
Absolutely.
The family environment is something that we all look for as far as the type of place we want to be, and not more towards, just a place that's looking to get a job done. I've suffered with migraines probably close to, I don't know who you were talking about before, for almost 20 years. And since seeing Dr. Margie, which has been about a year and a half, I haven't had a headache since. And not only that, I do not get colds as frequently. I don't think I've been sick in a few years. And it's just overall being of health is much better, more energy, more posture aware because of her policing me.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm proud of it.
Too, so I catch myself during the day thinking about it and doing it as well.
That's great.
And the same thing with as what Terry said, you're always there. 'Cause with my schedule, I'm never on time or I can't make it. And you're always there to get me in the next day or after that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here this evening. Absolutely. Well, I think a lot of what makes our practice so much different is that we really are an education-based practice. And I am always looking for the latest, the greatest, the cutting-edge thing that my patients can benefit from. Because what happened, this is the way I look at it, it's my job to keep my eyes wide open, to be able to decipher what is good in healthcare these days and what is not so hot. Because guess what? You're busy doing your job. So my job is, I feel like I'm working for each and every one of the patients to kind of look out for ideas and tips and different things that can enhance their life. So we are education-based in a big way. But the other thing that's really important, I think, in my practice, not that I'm just so passionate about what I do, and I hope you kind of get wind of that tonight, but that we form a relationship with each one of our patients because I want them to know that I genuinely care about their success in my programs as well as their health. And, the proof is in the pudding, as my father would say. And we really do care and want to invite as many people to join us as possible because guess what? I'm telling you, do you think our healthcare, the movement that's going on right now, 2013, Do you think our health care is going to be more of a challenge in the future? Or is it going to be, easy? I'm thinking that it's going to be more of a challenge. And what I'm thinking is this. This is what I'm going to, I'll talk about the next thing in just a bit. But I think this is the most important point. In order for you to save in healthcare dollars later on, you need to create good health for yourself now. Because that is such an important thing. If you want to save yourself in insurance dollars and so forth later on, you really need to create wellness for yourself right now. Because guess what? There's not a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot of money in healthy people, but there's a whole lot of money in sick, declining, disease-ridden people. So I choose, and I choose for all my patients as well, that we're going to be on the positive side of things and keep everyone healthy. So the last page here is an invite, and I want you to join with me and just read about this because I have a big question. Would you like to learn more about you? We, myself and Danielle, have a very special Dinner with the Doc examination, and it really is the very first step to see if we can help you. So what we have going on tonight is our spinal examination and complete set of x-rays. Most people, I don't like to touch, I don't touch people unless I know what they're looking like in the inside, all right? So I relate to my patients that these x-rays that we're taking of you are like the blueprint, if you will, of your spine. And so when people get x-rays in my office, they are a full spine x-ray so that we can see how it's all connected. And I think that's a real important thing. So those x-rays, if scheduled, the spinal exam and the complete set of x-rays, if scheduled with Danielle this evening, is only $59. It's usually $255. But when you pay tonight with either check or cash or a credit card, there's an additional $20 coupon that we're giving everybody, and that makes their exam only $39. You cannot lose with that. It hardly even covers the price of the film and the processing these days. This same offer may also be passed on to a friend or a family member, and we're allowing people to give up to one other person to allow them to have that. Appointments for the dinner must be completed as soon as possible, but the opportunity does expire 3 weeks from this workshop. So what that does is that allows us to accommodate other people that come in through our workshops. So we're going to be getting ready for dinner pretty soon. Salad should be coming out. I hope everyone likes Italian because we're going to have a good Italian meal here tonight. And I want to thank everyone once again for coming. As far as our online guests and everything, please don't hesitate. Check us out on our website, centerhealrenew.com, as well as on Facebook. If you go on Facebook and you put in Broadway Family Chiropractic, Danielle has done a wonderful job with continuing the vibes, the education, and the passion that we have in our office, once again, to enhance your health. So mix and mingle a little bit. We're going to be getting ready for dinner, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
And also, I'd like to just add
one more little addition.
The pink slips.
The pink slips.
The pink slips is possible. It doesn't hurt. I will call them, invite them to a dinner, but we can have some great prizes that you can win.
Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight.
Prizes that you put down on those lists that are odds in the name. So I would just put down the people that you love and your friends, and then that way I can call them and invite them to a dinner. They don't have to come, they don't want to come.
Well, who wouldn't want to come to something like this? It's so much fun.
It's always a fun time, but, let's win these prizes, and, I hope a lot of you guys win.
So I hope you're feeling lucky.
Get out those cell phones.
That's right. Okay, we'll be right back.